Hey, friends, welcome back to Love Lighthouse. Guess what? We literally have like 4 days left before the Ignite Your Light event. So if you don't have your tickets, click the link in the show notes and get your ticket. This event it's not a seminar. It's not just an event. It isn't a class. What it is it's an annual experience. It is an experience of healing, and you want to make sure you are there every year. If for some reason you cannot be there March 23rd of 2023, plan on being there next year in 2024, because this is going to be an annual event every year in March. And each time it's going to be a different experience. You're going to get different things out of it. It is different content. And of course, it's all going to come back to what my purpose is to remind myself and everyone in my path the truth of who they really are, and to continuously go on that journey together. That sounds pretty simple, right? Like, oh, remind yourself the truth of your magnificence. Well, the illusion of planet Earth is very, very good, very real. And so it's a process to continually come back to reminding yourself of who you really are, and to not get trapped in the matrix of planet Earth, of the avatar and the labels and all of the things. So every year, Ignite Your Light, we come together as a group, and that is an experience, because when you come together, bring your lights together, then it is really, really powerful. So click the link, get your tickets. Okay. So today, I want to talk about something I've been thinking about lately. It's been really gratifying to me because things have come full circle for me as a mom. And I'm going to share a story that was really beautiful for me. My heart, I always say, it made my heart sing. And I know that sounds so silly, but that's the best way I can describe when I just light up and have these moments where things come full circle. But I just want to ask, like, let's think about this for a minute. What is a friend, a true friend? What is being a good parent? What is being a leader? What are the attributes of all of those roles that we play in life, or being a good coach? I think about this one thing, okay? And when I say it, you might go, "What? That seems weird." But this statement is, I don't support you no matter what. I don't. I think that a good leader, a good parent, a good friend, a good coach is not going to support you no matter what. Now, love you no matter what, that's a different story. Unconditional love, yes, that is who we are, and we should love each other no matter what. No matter what our children do, we should love them deeply, but support them if they're on a road of destruction, or if they're going on a path that is not for their greatest good, and you know it in your core, then a good parent, I believe, someone who is being a good parent at that time, is willing to say, no, I don't agree with this, honey. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to get up in their face and try to make them make a different decision, because everybody's on their own path. Everybody is able to make their own choices. We live on a planet of free will, and that's a beautiful thing. And sometimes our children are going to go on their journey, and they're going to go on a side street because they want to experience something that is hard for us to watch. And that's okay, because that's life and we're meant to do that. But if they ask your opinion, or when the time is right for you to say, hey, I mean, I think that it's our duty as a parent to be like, hey, no, this is not for you, love. come back to the path. And but do it as a dance, right? Because life is a dance. Like if you look at the pendulum, I always love to think of it as the pendulum. If you're too far on one side or too far on the other, that is not ideal. So if one side would be you're totally unattached, you're just supporting all the people in your life, no matter what road of destruction they may be on, and you're like, yeah, you're great. And it's that disassociation. It's that unattached feeling, which is that apathy. Apathy is your emotions are unattached and you're just like, sure, whatever, do your thing, do you. And then the other side, the extreme other side of that would be you trying to control their journey and you being like, really rigid or really angry or try to shame them or tell them how disappointed you are in them. That would be the extreme other side of you trying to drive for them on their journey of the road of life. We don't want to be on either of those sides. We want to be more in the middle where we are standing in our power, yet we're willing to say the truth. And that can be hard. That can be really hard sometimes. I've been in moments in my life where I look back and I'm like, holy macro, I was not in a good place. And I had some friends that spoke truth to me, or family and people in my life that spoke truth to me because they knew I was on a road of destruction. Or I've had the other people that were like, yeah, that's awesome. Go for it, Jen. Even though I'm like in a situation that is not good for me, not honoring me. So it really is that dance. But recently I have the thing that has come up for me that made my heart sing as a mama. I have a daughter who is an adult, and I feel like I'm pretty good. I have 2 adult children, and I feel like I'm pretty good about really being up in the mix and creating boundaries when they are under my roof, when they're a child, when they're a teenager, all the way up until they're 18 and graduate and then move out. I feel like I've been good about setting boundaries and being having rules and that. But then once they leave the nest, it's like, okay, babe, now it's you. I'm not going to control you. I'm not here to try to drive your life for you. Like, I will be here to support you. I will be here with open arms to give you advice and love. But it's now you, honey. You are now an adult and you get to choose what you date or who you date, what you do, what path you go on. And my daughter, she's done this, she was in a relationship, and this was, a while back, like years ago. She was in a relationship and she was starting to give up on her dreams. And it was something for me that was, it was like, no, honey, no. Don't, because don't just give up because it's hard to get out of your comfort zone and you're now in this little, nest of comfort. And I knew that this person she was with was not her end game. I felt it in my core. You moms know what I'm talking about. You dads know what I'm talking about. Moms and dads are very connected to their children, and they know if their child is with someone. I mean, when I say child, she had graduated by this point, so she was an adult, but if your kid is with someone that it's like, nope, I don't feel it. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't feel it. Like, they might end up getting married and having children and having an entire journey with that person, and that might be what is meant to happen. Possibly. I mean, I've been married before, and had children with my ex-husband, and I got divorced, and then ended up getting with my husband now, who is my person, right? But I know that was something I needed to do. That was part of my journey. That was not a mistake. It was something that I needed to do before I met my husband. I needed to, it was a soul contract that with my ex-husband for me to marry him, have that experience. I learned so much from him, and from having that very painful experience, I grew a lot, I learned a lot, and I got my beautiful, amazing children from that experience. And I know that sometimes that's the plan, and that is meant to happen, and that's okay. But my daughter, going back to my daughter, it was like, no, honey, keep moving along. Like when she would ask me my opinion, and she knew that I wasn't feeling it. And she would be like, you don't like my boyfriend. And it wasn't that I don't like him. I liked him as a person. He was a very nice guy, but I could feel it in my core. And so could my husband, that he was not her end game. And so it was like, come on, honey, keep moving along here. And and so eventually she did. And she now is just thriving in her life. She is doing so well, and she's thanked me for that. She's thanked me for being willing to say, no, I don't support you, no matter what. And maybe I didn't say it in those words, but at that time, but that's essentially what I was saying is, no, no, this isn't the guy for you, move along. And as much as she wanted me to be all about it and support her in that moment, I I wasn't willing to do that, because there's one thing my husband says all the time, and I've learned this from him. I really have, because I this was a struggle for me. I was taught, and we are taught in our society, to just be like kind, politically correct, just to, support everyone. And what that does is it really creates a false, fake society, to where, if you're on the train tracks and you're about to get hit, you want a friend who is going to say, get off the tracks, get off, or push you off, right? Obviously, you got to be able to do it yourself. When we're talking about your life, you got to be the one to choose that. But you want to surround yourself with people that tell you the truth. And that's the one thing that my husband has said to me from day one, because this is something about him. It is his superpower to tell people the truth. He has no problem telling people what he feels is the best thing for them, which makes him a really strong, supportive, fabulous coach to get people to move in their life. But it is uncomfortable for people, because some people get really angry at you because they want you to support them at that time on their road of destruction. But he's like, I don't give a damn. I'm going to tell you what I see, and if you choose to get mad at me, then that's on you. That was a lot harder for me to get comfortable with and to accept, but I now I see it, right? So if you are on a road of destruction, surrounding yourself with people that are willing to tell you the truth, and when they do, thank them. Don't get mad at them. Don't understand their true intentions, and that's hard. That's hard for people. But on the flip side of that, more importantly, don't be afraid to tell your children the truth in a loving, empowered way. In the middle. Remember that. Remember being in the middle. Don't shame them. Don't be angry with them, and try to control them. And on the flip side, don't be unattached. Try to stand in the middle and tell them the truth all throughout your life, in all areas, because later, they will thank you for that. Some might, depending on who they are in your life, some, like if it's your neighbor or your friend, or some might get angry with you and disappear out of your life and go down the road of destruction and never come back into your life. And you got to be okay with that. If you want a fabulous life, if you want people around you that are going in a good direction, and if you want to be able to sleep at night knowing you are being the best friend and leader in your life. So, all right, much love to you all. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, drop an emoji in the comments, or a comment of what you think about this subject. Do you find it easy to tell people what you really feel in a loving way? Is that easy for you? Or have you had any ahas in this conversation? So I'll see you next week. Bye for now.